5 habits. That's all it takes to transform your life. Not 5 years, not 5 major life overhauls. Just 5 simple habits practiced consistently. And I'm not talking about someday or next month or even next week. I'm talking about right now, today. You see, most people are waiting for some big break, some magical moment when everything falls into place. But life doesn't work that way. Success, happiness, fulfillment, they're built day by day, habit by habit. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start with these 5 habits. Now, I want you to really listen. Not just hear the words, but absorb them, let them sink deep into your mind. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't just theory, it's not some pie-in-the-sky idea. These are battle-tested, proven habits that have the power to revolutionize your life in just 7 days. Habit number 1, rise with the sun. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a morning person. Well, let me tell you something. Success doesn't care if you're a morning person or a night owl. Success cares about what you do with the time you have. And there's something magical about those early morning hours. When you rise with the sun, you're giving yourself a head start on the day. You're setting the tone, taking control before the world has a chance to throw its demands at you. It's like getting a running start in a race while everyone else is still tying their shoelaces. But it's not just about being awake early. It's about what you do with that time. Use it to plan your day, to exercise, to read, to meditate. Whatever you choose, make it count. Because those quiet morning hours are like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in them will grow throughout your day. I remember a young man who came to one of my seminars. He was struggling, barely making ends meet. I told him about this habit, about rising with the sun. He looked at me like I was crazy. I can barely drag myself out of bed for work, he said. But he decided to give it a try. A year later, he came back. His whole life had changed. He'd started a successful business, improved his health, even met the love of his life. And it all started with setting his alarm clock a little earlier. Now, I'm not saying you'll become a millionaire in a year just by waking up early. But I am saying that this one habit has the power to set off a chain reaction in your life. It's like the first domino. Once it falls, everything else starts to move. Habit number 2, your mind before you feed your body. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone. They scroll through messages, check their email, maybe look at the news. And just like that, before they've even had breakfast, they filled their mind with other people's priorities, other people's emergencies, other people's lives. But successful people, they do things differently. They understand that the mind is like a garden, and what you plant in it first thing in the morning will grow throughout the day. So instead of filling their minds with noise, they fill it with wisdom, with inspiration, with knowledge. Read a book, listen to an educational podcast, write in a journal, feed your mind with something that will nourish it, that will help you grow. Because here's the truth, your mind is hungry, and if you don't consciously choose what to feed it, it will eat whatever's available. And in today's world, what's readily available isn't always what's best for us. I once met a woman who was stuck in a dead-end job. She hated it, but she didn't see a way out. I told her about this habit. Before you have your morning coffee, I said, read 10 pages of a good book. Any book that will teach you something, inspire you, help you grow. She looked skeptical, but she agreed to try it. 6 months later, she had quit her job and started her own business. Why? Because by feeding her mind every morning, she had planted seeds of possibility. She had nurtured her dreams, expanded her knowledge, and built her confidence. Now, I'm not saying reading a book will magically solve all your problems, but I am saying that when you consistently feed your mind with valuable input, you're giving yourself the tools to solve those problems. You're expanding your world, opening doors you didn't even know existed. Habit number 3, move your body every single day. Now, I'm not talking about becoming a marathon runner or a professional athlete. I'm talking about consistent daily movement. Because here's the thing, your body and your mind are connected. When you move your body, you're not just improving your physical health. You're sharpening your mind, boosting your mood, increasing your energy. It doesn't have to be complicated. A brisk walk, some push-ups, a quick yoga session. The important thing is consistency. Every single day, rain or shine, good mood or bad, you move your body. I remember a man who came to one of my seminars. He was successful in business, but his health was a mess. He was overweight, always tired, constantly stressed. I told him about this habit. He scoffed. "I don't have time for exercise," he said. "I'm too busy making money." I looked him in the eye and said, "What good is all that money if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it?" That hit home. He decided to give it a try. Just 30 minutes a day, that's all I asked him to commit to. A year later, he came back. He had lost 50 pounds. His stress levels had plummeted, and ironically, his business was doing better than ever. Why? Because when you take care of your body, everything else in your life improves. Your mind is sharper. Your energy is higher. Your confidence soars. Now, I'm not promising you'll lose 50 pounds in a year, but I am promising that if you commit to moving your body every single day, you will see improvements in every area of your life. It's like oiling a machine. Everything just works better when you take care of the physical vessel you're living in. Habit number 4, practice gratitude daily. This might sound simple, maybe even a bit cliche, but let me tell you, gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It has the ability to completely shift your perspective, to turn scarcity into abundance, to find opportunity in adversity. Every day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. And I mean really grateful. Don't just scribble down family, friends, health, and call it a day. Really think about it. What specifically are you grateful for? Why does it matter to you? Maybe you're grateful for the warm sun on your face during your morning walk, or for the challenge of a difficult project at work that's helping you grow, or for the smile of a loved one that brightened your day. Whatever it is, get specific. Feel the gratitude in your bones. I once worked with a young woman who was going through a tough time. She had lost her job. Her relationship had ended, and she was struggling to make ends meet. I told her about this habit. She looked at me like I was from another planet. Grateful? She said, "What do I have to be grateful for?" But she agreed to try it. Every night before bed, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. At first, it was a struggle, but as the days went by, something started to shift. She began to notice the good things in her life, no matter how. And as she focused on those good things, more seemed to appear. 6 months later, she had a new job she loved, a new relationship that brought her joy, and a new outlook on life. Was it all because of gratitude? Maybe not entirely. But I can tell you this, gratitude opened her eyes to opportunities she had been blind to before. It gave her the strength to persevere when things were tough. It transformed her entire perspective on life. Now, I'm not saying gratitude will magically solve all your problems, but I am saying that when you practice gratitude consistently, you train your mind to focus on the positive. And when you focus on the positive, you attract more positive into your life. It's like tuning a radio to pick up a specific frequency. When you tune into gratitude, you start picking up more reasons to be grateful. Habit number 5, invest in yourself every day. This is perhaps the most important habit of all. Because here's the truth, you are your most valuable asset, not your car, not your house, not your job, your skills, your knowledge, your ability. And just like any other asset, you need to invest in yourself to grow. Every day, do something to improve yourself. Learn a new skill. Read about a topic that interests you. Practice a hobby that challenges you. It doesn't have to be big. Small, consistent investments compound over time. Think about it this way. If you improve yourself just 1 every day, in a year, you'll be 365 better. That's the power of compound growth. And it applies to personal development just as much as it does to finance. I once met a man who was stuck in his career. He had been in the same job for 20 years, doing the same things day in and day out. He was comfortable, but he wasn't growing. I told him about this habit. Invest in yourself every day, I said. Learn something new, challenge yourself. He was skeptical. I'm too old to learn new tricks, he said. But he decided to give it a try. He started small, just 15 minutes a day, learning about new developments in his field. At first, it was a struggle. But as the weeks went by, something started to change. He became more confident at work. He started contributing new ideas. His colleagues began to see him different. A year later, he had been promoted to a position he never thought he'd reach. Why? Because by investing in himself consistently, he had become more valuable. He had grown beyond the boundaries of his old job. Now, I'm not saying you'll get a big promotion in a year just by learning for 15 minutes a day. But I'm saying that when you consistently invest in yourself, you open doors you never knew existed. You become more capable, more confident, more valuable. And that value reflects in every area of your life. These 5 habits, practiced consistently, have the power to transform your life. But here's the key, consistency. It's not enough to do these things once in a while or when you feel like it. You need to make them non-negotiable parts of your daily routine. Think about it like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up in the morning and debate whether or not you're going to brush your teeth. You just do it. It's a habit, an automatic part of your day. That's how these 5 habits need to become. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great, but I don't have time for all this. I'm too busy. Well, let me tell you something. You're not too busy. You're just not prioritizing correctly. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't time. It's how they use that time. Successful people understand that these habits aren't extra tasks to be squeezed into an already busy day. They're the foundation that makes everything else possible. Think about it like building a house. These habits are the foundation. Without a strong foundation, it doesn't matter how beautiful the house is. It will always be unstable, always at risk of collapsing. But with a strong foundation, you can build anything. That's what these habits do. They give you a strong foundation for success in every area of your life. They're not separate from your goals and dreams. They're the very things that make those goals and dreams possible. Now, I want to be clear about something. These habits aren't a magic pill. They're not going to solve all your problems overnight. What they will do is give you the tools, the mindset, and the energy to solve those problems yourself. Because here's the truth. Success isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create, and you create it through your daily habits, your daily choices. Every day, with every choice you make, you're either moving towards success or away from it. These habits ensure that you're consistently moving in the right direction. But it's not just about success in the traditional sense. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about waking up every day with purpose, with energy, with enthusiasm for what the day might bring. It's about going to bed every night, knowing that you've grown, that you've made progress, that you're a little bit better than you were yesterday. And here's the beautiful thing. As you become better, everything around you becomes better. Your relationships improve because you're bringing more value to them. Your work improves because you're bringing more skill and energy to it. Your health improves because you're taking better care of yourself. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread out, affecting everything they touch. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up a month from now after practicing these habits consistently for 30 days. How would you feel? More energetic, more focused, more confident? Imagine waking up 6 months from now, a year from now. How different could your life? The truth is, you don't have to imagine. You can make it a reality. Starting today, starting right now. Because that's the other beautiful thing about these habits. You can start them immediately. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. All you need is the decision to begin. And let me tell you something. That decision, that commitment to begin is often the hardest part. It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start when things calm down. But successful people, they don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment by starting now. I want you to think about something for a moment. Think about where you are right now in your life. Are you where you want to be? Are you living the life you've dreamed of? If not, what's holding you back? Most people, when asked this question, they start listing all the external factors. They talk about the economy, or their boss, or their circumstances. But here's the truth. The biggest factor in your success or failure is you. It's your habits, your choices, your actions. And that's actually good news, because while you can't control the economy or your boss or many of your circumstances, you can control yourself. You can control your habits. You can make the choice right now to start implementing these 5 habits. Now, I know it might seem overwhelming, 5 new habits all at once. But remember, we're not talking about massive changes here. We're talking about small, consistent actions taken every day. Wake up a little earlier. Read a few pages of a good book. Take a short walk. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Spend 15 minutes learning something new. These are small actions, but small actions taken consistently lead to big results. It's like compound interest. At first, the gains might seem small, almost insignificant, but over time, they start to multiply. And before you know it, you've transformed your life. But here's the key. You have to start. You have to make the commitment. You have to decide that from this moment forward, these habits are non-negotiable parts of your day. Because if you're always saying, I'll start tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. I want you to think about something else for a moment. Think about a year from now. If you don't change anything, if you keep doing exactly what you're doing now, where will you be? Will you be any closer to your goals? Will you be any happier, any healthier, any more successful? Now think about a year from now. If you implement these habits, if you rise with the sun every day, feeding your mind before your body, if you move your body daily, practice gratitude, and invest in yourself consistently, where could you be then? The difference between those 2 futures is the power of habits. It's the power of small, consistent actions taken every day. And the beautiful thing is, you get to choose which future you want to create. Now, I'm not saying it will be easy. Changing habits, building new routines, it takes effort. There will be days when you don't feel like getting up early. Days when you'd rather scroll through your phone than read a book. Days when the last thing you want to do is exercise or practice gratitude. But here's the thing. Successful people do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. They understand that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is reliable. They don't wait to feel motivated. They act, and the motivation follows. And let me tell you something. There's an incredible power in doing what you said you would do, especially when you don't feel like it. It builds self-trust. It builds confidence. It builds momentum. And momentum, once you have it, is hard to stop. I want you to imagine for a moment what your life could look like if you had unstoppable momentum. If every day you were moving forward, growing, improving. If every week you could look back and see tangible progress. If every month you were closer to your goals than you were before. That's the power of these 5 habits. They create momentum. They create progress. They create growth. And not just in one area of your life, but in all areas. Because when you rise early, you have more time for what's important. When you feed your mind, you become more capable, more confident. When you move your body, you have more energy, more vitality. When you practice gratitude, you have more joy, more positivity. And when you invest in yourself, you become more valuable, more capable of achieving your dreams. But here's the thing. I can't make you implement these habits. I can't make that choice for you. Only you can do that. Only you can decide that today is the day you start changing your life. Because here's the truth. Every day you're making choices. Every action you take, every habit you engage in is a vote for the person you want to become. When you hit the snooze button instead of getting up early, you're voting for procrastination over productivity. When you scroll through your phone instead of reading a book, you're voting for distraction over growth. When you skip your workout, you're voting for comfort over health. But the good news is, You can change your vote. Starting right now, you can start voting for the person you want to become. You can start voting for success, for growth, for the life you've always dreamed of. And let me tell you something. Those votes add up. They compound. Just like how a small pebble can start an avalanche, these small daily choices can create massive change in your life. Think about it this way. If you improve just one each day after a year, you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of compound growth. That's the power of consistent habits. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I miss a day? What if I slip up? And here's what I want you to understand. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on track the next day. Remember, we're playing the long game here. We're not looking for overnight success. We're looking for sustained, long-term growth. And in the long term, it's not about being perfect every day. It's about being consistent. Think about it like steering a ship. If you're off course by just 1 degree, over a short distance, it doesn't make much difference. But over a long journey, that 1 degree can take you to a completely different destination. These habits are like adjusting your course. They might not seem like much on any given day, but over time, they can take you to a completely different life. And here's another thing I want you to understand. These habits aren't just about achieving external success. They're about becoming the kind of person who achieves success. They're about building character, developing discipline, cultivating resilience. Because here's the truth. Success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the person you develop into as you work towards your goals. These habits will make you stronger. They'll make you more disciplined. They'll make you more focused. They'll make you more resilient. And those qualities, they're valuable in every area of life. They'll help you in your career, in your relationships, in your personal growth. Now, I want to address something else. Some of you might be thinking, but I'm too old to change. I've been doing things this way for years. It's too late for me. And to that I say, it's never too late to become the person you were meant to be. Your past does not define your future. Your age does not limit your potential. The only thing that limits you is your belief in what's possible. And beliefs, they can be changed. Starting right now, you can choose to believe in your potential for growth, for change, for success. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s completely transform their lives by adopting new habits. I've seen people who've been stuck in the same patterns for decades break free and achieve things they never thought possible. Because here's the thing. Your life is not set in stone. It's not predetermined. It's a result of your choices, your habits, your actions, and you have the power to change those at any time. Think about it this way. 5 years from now, you're going to be 5 years older, no matter what. The question is, who do you want to be when you get there? Do you want to be the same person you are now, with the same habits, the same limitations? Or do you want to be someone who's grown, who's improved, who's achieved things you once thought impossible? The choice is yours. And it starts with these 5 habits. Now, I want to challenge you. I want you to commit right here, right now, to implementing these habits for the next 30 days. Just 30 days. That's all I'm asking for. Because here's the thing. In 30 days, you can create momentum. In 30 days, you can start to see changes. In 30 days, you can lay the foundation for a completely new life. Imagine waking up 30 days from now. You've been rising with the sun every day. You've been feeding your mind before your body. You've been moving every day, practicing gratitude, investing in yourself. How different would you feel? How different would your outlook on life be? I can tell you from experience, the difference will be profound. You'll have more energy. You'll be more focused. You'll be more positive. You'll be more confident. You'll be more capable. And most importantly, you'll have momentum. You'll have proof that you can change, that you can grow, that you can become the person you've always wanted to be. And here's the beautiful thing. Once you have that proof, once you have that momentum, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Because success breeds success, growth leads to more growth. Once you start moving forward, It becomes easier and easier to keep moving forward. So I challenge you. Commit to these habits for the next 30 days. Write them down. Put them somewhere you'll see them every day. Tell someone about your commitment. Make it real. And then, starting tomorrow morning, no, starting right now, begin implementing these habits. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Take that first step. Rise with the sun tomorrow morning. Before you check your phone, before you turn on the TV, feed your mind. Read a few pages of a good book. Then move your body, even if it's just for a few minutes. Throughout the day, practice gratitude. Notice the good things in your life, no matter how small. And before you go to bed, invest in yourself. Learn something new. Practice a skill. Do something that makes you a little bit better than you were yesterday. Do this for 30 days. And I promise you, by the end of those 30 days, you won't want to stop, because you'll have experienced the power of these habits. You'll have felt the difference they make. You'll have seen the results they produce. And here's the thing. Once you experience that, once you feel that difference, you won't want to go back to your old ways, because you'll realize that this growth, this progress, this constant improvement, this is what you were meant for. You were not meant to be stagnant. You were not meant to be stuck. You were meant to grow, to improve, to become the best version of yourself. And these habits, they're the key to unlocking that potential. So I ask you, are you ready to take control of your life? Are you ready to become the person you were meant to be? Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Because if you are, if you're truly ready, then the time is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things calm down or when the timing is right. Now, remember, success is not an accident. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a series of choices made every single day. And starting right now, you have the opportunity to make those choices. You have the opportunity to vote for the person you want to become. So vote wisely. Choose growth, choose improvement, choose success, choose these 5 habits. And I promise you, a year from now, you'll look back on this moment as the turning point. The moment when everything changed. The moment when you decided to take control of your life and become the person you were always meant to be. The future is yours. The choice is yours. What will you choose?